Yep. As long as the angles are good.
The angles are fun.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for coming out. So, state your name for the crowd, please.
Anthony, Tiglao, that Tiglao. Which is honestly a really weird thing to be able to do.
You say that Tiglao?
Yeah, that one.
Like your same as your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, because small community.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been around forever.
Yeah, yes.
So
that's why I call you little local boy.
So it's funny to have that like legacy, or kind of that if you know kind of shit.
I know. Whatever. As soon as you came in and I was like, wait a second, Ollie's your dad? Yeah. I was like, no shit.
It's hilarious.
It's really weird.
Yeah, because how many people are like, oh wait, he's your dad, not like cousin or something, because like the age difference and whatever. Like Roger was like, no, I didn't know he was your dad. I thought it was like some other like familial whatever.
Because like how many I know you're Filipino, but like I know a lot of the cruises from that are Chamorro and stuff like that. So you hear a cruise and I'm like, yep. And then so Tiglao, you're like, no, directly, that's my dad. That's the one. It's kind of cool that you followed in his footsteps to a degree too.
Yep. Found it my own way a little bit. Because, lots of more of the complicated shit, kind of like growing up or whatever. Yeah. But then, 18, he took me to Brian Johnson's, trained there for a few weeks before going to WSU. Okay. And then I was like, sweet, I have gloves, I can hit the bag at the gym. And then finally found time to actually get some real training in.
Yeah.
Come the time, 8 years ago now.
And that was at your dad's old gym, right?
Yeah.
In Kent?
Kent, yeah.
Yeah. I never even knew your dad had opened that gym until started seeing the results. Like, because it was like right around COVID that you started coming around Fife?
Yeah, 21. So, January 21, because we tried to reopen after the whole shutdown and everything, after the world ended. And then it just wasn't financially smart. So he was like, go to Fife. That's where I trained when I fought. So
your dad was a fucking little monster. It's funny because I remember sparring you and in like the exact same position in the ring, exact same jab when I threw, hit you the exact same way, and you twisted your neck the same way. And then we went to war right after that the same way. So I was like, you're definitely your father's son.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like your dad's an MMA guy.
Yeah.
And you chose to specialize in kickboxing and now growing as you grow, hopefully more Muay Thai. But we've been doing more kickboxing fights lately. So what do you think about that? Like, why did you choose, I don't want to say not MMA. 1 second. I got to turn the fan off. It's killing me.
Yep. Also, disclaimer, there's going to be a way more swearing in this episode than any previous episode. I do not have a filter. I won't say any offensive shit, but you're going to
Nobody cares except for YouTube. And I don't really care.
Yep. I gave it the 5 minutes. I gave it the 5 minutes to get rid of the algorithm, whatever, and then
you gave it the 5 minutes. Well, I'm smoking a joint right away and it hasn't bitten me in the ass yet. So if it does, hey, sorry guys. We'll figure it out from there because I'm just figuring this out as I go, especially with this fucking lighter.
Sweet torch. So cool.
Yeah, that's me. Trying to be cool.
Yep.
The Batman shirt. So, yeah, like, let me know, like, why did you, because I know you did jits for a while.
Yeah.
And I know you really, well, every time when you have time to sit there and look over at the other side, you look at it with that kind of like, I want to get back over there, that lustful look. So I know you like it, but why did you choose to specialize like in the kickboxing Muay Thai?
Like the striking stuff. Time, honestly, because going into Fife, before that, like at my dad's gym, we'd run really long classes, and it was a combination of everything. Kind of same sort of dichotomy though. Mondays, Wednesdays would be striking, and then every day though you'd end with no gi.
I gotcha.
And then Tuesdays, Thursdays in the gi traditional BJJ stuff.
Right.
But like the classes were 2, sometimes 3 hours long, depending on if we just like lost track of time, you know? And like super small things, like real small outfit, maybe at most 10 guys there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was just like that time to be able to do all of that. And that was pre-lockdown, so I didn't have dogs.
I gotcha.
Yep. So me rolling in at 9:30, waking Alex up to get off the couch and then take a shower, go to bed.
You don't have just dogs. You have 2 blue healers.
Yep.
So dogs that need a lot of attention.
Yeah, so I went hard mode.
It's not like sleepy dogs that just are good just lounging.
Yep. Decided to never do anything easy.
Welcome to combat sports. You see the people I talk about hobbyists all the time. That's the people that do it easy. But that, I don't know which joint that is. That's something I picked up today from Zips right over the corner. Shout out to the ladies at Zips.
Yeah, shout out to the Dream Girls. It's so funny that or Showgirls, that sign's still up there over Zips.
Oh no, I think it's still strip club on the backside. I don't know. I go there at like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. So I'm like, no, I do. I've been there late at night and the parking lot is jam packed. That's why I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're still going.
That's I didn't know. Yeah, because it looked like it was just like the remnants of the sign and then Zips. And
dude, I used to fucking smoke blunts in that parking lot when it was Deja Vu or whatever fucking Foxes. Was it Foxes?
Foxes. It was Foxes.
Whatever the fuck it was.
That's so funny.
We used to sit there and I had my little beater ass Mirage. And I remember going in a far parking lot and it's just Frugals and Foxes or whatever it was at that time, and I jumped the parking lot curb like 17, smoked out, stupid, with a bunch of people in the car. So, tell me about your last fight.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, how about you tell the people listening about your last fight? So you fought EJ?
Yeah. EJ, now training out of Brian Johnson's under Julian down there, formerly at Cortez. He's one of John Mark's boys.
Oh, okay.
You know, that real fluid TKD type background, kickboxing style. And, you know, lots of that fast-paced movement, kind of really good side kicks kind of stuff. So, I mean, where do we begin? It was I'm told it's a good fight. I watched the film back and I don't like it. But
I don't know anybody, even winners, that like their fucking film. But yeah.
But I mean, yeah, he did well to fight his fight, which is always the goal. That's what you would hope I would have done too, on any given night. But for whatever reason, just couldn't ever get going. And then
sometimes that's the way. I've had almost the exact same fight for one of my last fights at Absolute Chaos. And it's like, I knew I was better than the guy, but I just couldn't get it going. And he kept me at the end of his range. And that was this, 6 minutes or it was 6 minutes or 9 minutes exactly, though. 3 rounds. It's all you have. Boom, boom, boom. The night's over. Out of 8 weeks, or we were training for like 9 weeks almost in this one. Yeah, we started slow,
and then ever since kind of like taking the matchup, talking to my dad about it, just making sure it was kind of, I wasn't just kind of like getting screwed here because he's got more competition experience.
Yeah, you fought up. Yeah, you fought up in competition. Yeah, that's what I said when G came on last week. Is that she fought up, Darko fought up, you fought up. So taking a loss when you're fighting somebody that's at that next level, it's not always just like super easy.
And it's like you can tell. Like I think that's where that experience comes. That the advantage in experience comes. So maybe with the however many more. I think it's like four or 5 more.
I don't
that he has under his belt. Like so he's just kind of like used to that hurry up and wait and not letting whatever just keeping the composure throughout the whole day too, and like, you know, kind of seeing him around, like even just like in the green rooms and stuff, like seem chill. Talk to him afterwards, no problems. Like exactly. Zero personal thing. You got me. I want to play now. Now I want to go down to Brian's and like just spar.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I always want to do that still too, but now it's a little different as a coach. You just go gym hopping as a coach. Like I know Juan does it a little bit,
like wave and stuff,
but he's still an active fighter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
What am I trying to go do? Yeah. You know, so not that people aren't invited. You'd be like, oh yeah, I will have people over at our gym sometimes at spars. I love that.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm already here, and we've got new people.
Plus, it's our house.
Yeah,
you know, so and we have our little enforcer clique if things go a little rough.
But yeah,
like I guess, not Tong Po.
Yeah, kick you out the ring.
That guy was wild. I can't believe that. The guy was like, I was training in Phuket, and has the bald, but has like the dreadlocks in the back. Like, nice enough guy. It was just weird. Like, he's going all power out and sparring on people that you don't know, but you trained in Thailand. It's like, that's the opposite of, like, they won't spar you if you go too hard. They're like, no, you're fucking too inexperienced.
Yeah. It's play, and then you earn that hard round or whatever it might be.
Pad rounds are fucking hard enough. Yeah. You don't want to go any harder.
Yeah.
You watch those fucking guys? I've never been there. Just to clarify.
Yeah, me neither. But would be cool.
I'm trying to go this year. I went to Amsterdam over the holidays. That was fun. That was an eye opener.
Oh yeah, getting all like the Dutch style from there.
Little went to Skarbowski in fucking Paris. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
And fucking, they're just like us. Well, not just like us. They got some really good people. And I was only there for one class, but I went to the more advanced class and she got to spar. Forgot my mouthpiece here in the States.
Nice.
So I was just biting down and I'm like talking to, it's funny because like there's a bigger dude. I'm like, oh man, I don't have a mouthpiece. He's like, oh, we just go body shots and whatever. And so like body shots and kicks. He's kicking me like DeVos does, like side kicks. So you can tell he's got a little bit different background, maybe like more savate than Taekwondo or karate or anything like that, or whatever fucking he's got. And he's like lighting me up in the body. Like, so I start pinning the hands and it's just kicking the legs. I'm like, ugh. And then there's this kid. He's built like Isaac, like thin and wiry, and strong. And but he's standing tall and just slapping him, like, pop, 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 super fast. And I'm like, damn, fucking. I'm like, all right, I can do this. But I'm like, this kid's like 19. I'm 40.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
damn it.
That's kind of the other side of it. Is everyone's like, you want to fight again? I always want to fight again. Is it smart? No. Like, I need to be able to let that go.
Yeah.
Because if I try to jump back in there again, it's not like I'm gonna go in there and do a smoker. Yeah.
Yep. It's not, you don't get to pause your record.
Yeah.
Or your career,
the resume doesn't get like a backtrack because
you got a statute of limitations. It's been 10 years. And he's never fought.
Yeah. I haven't fought in 10. Well, that could be like, I need something to get me back into it, but still I'm taking a real fight right off the bat. There's no
there's no warming back into that.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like I know my dad's trying to like just make sure everything is good health wise and like his body wise and stuff for him. And he wants one more. And
everybody does, dude. Like, it doesn't go away. You're gonna have that too.
Yep.
Crew Jones was so Crew Jones when Crew Alberto and Ariane from
Chesai
came down and did that seminar. They were talking. Well, I didn't hear this part, but Crew Jones was telling me they were talking about this, and they're like, "What is it like to always want to still get back in there, do that shit one last time?" And I guess he was just like, "You got to let it go because you're always gonna want that." Look at Mike Tyson. Look at fucking all these other aged out fighters, Belfort, and all these guys.
I mean, just any athlete ever.
Right.
Like, it's just...
Your body doesn't operate. So when I keep saying, like, I'm 40 or whatever, it's not that, like, you hit a certain age and it just goes away. But as you age, your reads go away a little bit. like I don't make the same reads as fast. So I'm a little bit more hesitant at times. So that's why when I respond a little bit slow, but still just as like, I throw just as hard, it's because like, it's just a little off. And obviously I don't spar as often as I used to because I'm trying to avoid brain damage. I'm never going to fight again. So I don't want to sit there and get my brains bashed in, be all fucking melon that's all smashed. It's just dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking too much shots to the head.
Yep. Because it's, I don't know. And like, I've thought about that too, because it's like, I'm not that much younger than you. I'll be 35 in September. So like, you know, it's that damn late start of it all. And then everything. And just kind of that wants to, well, you know, looking at Jagger and Logan and just like, you know, even like Adam and Brady and stuff too, you know, like, oh, you know, mid-20s now, whatever, kind of like already got a year or two under their belts.
Yep.
I'm like, shit, I didn't start in earnest until I turned 27. Like,
I mean, I was right before you. I think I was 26.
You know,
so yeah.
Yep. And then to have that and then not fight until 32, you know?
Yeah.
Like I did a smoker. Like my earliest smoker was like in 2019, I think. 2018, 2019. So after, you know, a solid maybe year training, my dad's, you know, after the smoker and then, you know, the JITS competition circuit too, the Rev, Proving Grounds, and then the other one, I don't remember its name.
So you did a few JITS comps too.
Did those, and then like was like, let's put the striking together. And then I remember we were trying to find an MMA fight before 2020. And then it was just like, well,
which is so shitty, man. So it's not like we stayed open with brown paper up on the windows or anything. We didn't do that at all. Yeah. So that was, you know, we were responsible. We were very, very, like we weren't in there grinding at all, you know, like. Yeah,
I just thought that brown paper was because the sun glares through.
Oh, I mean, that's exactly what it, well, you know, that's not why it was. That's not why it was.
No, but I mean, yeah, because like we shut down. Like I've got videos.
A lot of places did.
I had videos pop up a few weeks ago of like my dad just posting stuff. Like the last day where we went and grabbed anything that we had left, I took one of the JITS dummies. I had my kick pads.
Yeah.
And just kind of like cleared some stuff out. And then like I don't think he even wanted to risk it until like November, December. So like.
When like people are like everyone's fed up, not just them.
Yeah, when they were like loosening the definition of essential business or something like that, and then tried to make it work from like November to like January, and until he was just like, "That's it. It can't be." Yeah. Go down to 5. I know them. I was like, all right.
I mean, I'm glad you did, obviously, but your dad. Old school from there. So I have pictures from my very first month or two, and he's in the head of the class. Yeah. Him, Sam Polton, Crew Jones, Bo, Taki, Jimmy, Garrett, little Nico, who's on his, him and Monica are on their drive back from Tennessee or whatever right now.
Yep.
He's going to do the podcast soon too. Nico.
Good. I can't wait to hear about that because it's like, you know, if you grew up in that, it's just funny because it's like you can see the alternate universe version where it's like, I grew up in all of this. And then, like it's funny to think about that sometimes too. But then be like, we are where we are, and I'm not gonna give up what I have now.
Well, I know, but you've also invested a huge amount of time. Yeah. It's not like you're not just as involved. Yeah. It's more like he just started younger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you're still on your path. Like what happens after the reason I like coaching so much is because I can still provide value. I can still do all the things like, if I could still fight legitimately without all those concerns we were just talking about, I'd fucking do it. Everybody would, right? I don't think anybody would just stop if they didn't age out.
Yeah.
But I could just stay relevant. And like Crew Jones, he talks about refereeing. I'm like, I don't have any fucking any want to do that. No disrespect to anybody that does, because again, you can stay relevant. You get to see the fight from a different perspective. There's a lot to do that, but already investing or spreading myself so thin, investing myself in all this other stuff to go do that for, I mean, just listening to the hoops he was about to jump through the night of your fight. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna have to fucking go get licensed here, and I just found out I got to do a physical. I could have done it tonight, and you know how he like really,
just all of the red tape that actually,
which actually came out. He was about to go do all that, or he did go do all that, and it came true that he wasn't going to be able to ref at all, anyways,
because we have fighters.
So Hoiby is going to do it, I believe, which is awesome. He's a great ref. Yeah, I like him a lot. He ref a couple of my fights, or at least one of my fights. The person I miss that used to ref fights is Master John. So he was part of like I don't know if it's Sarab or whatever it was, but he was really good friends with Master Simon, and he and his wife had a restaurant called Thai Hut too, or Emerald Thai something up in Kent. But refed a couple of my fights and stuff like that. He's funny because like he'd be like Bucks. I was just so Crew Jones, he'd sit there and fill me in. He's like, he's gonna do this over and over if Master John refs. And so he was doing that, and I'm like, it's clicking. I'm just having a good time in my head while he's doing it. But it's fun. There's good refs and bad refs, and they're good refs. I had a bad ref that was like, it was a Muay Thai fight, and I caught his kick, and he was like, no catching, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, what the fuck? And Crew Jones was like, just don't worry about it. Just do kickboxing. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What? We didn't train for that. No. It's so funny to like actually feel the difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing now. Because, you know, the casuals, normal people. I know you guys were like, oh, let's call them muggles. But like,
it's kind of condescending. I don't want to say it, but I get the point.
To me, I'm just like, I just define it normal people, and like even like when people like at work and whatever,
but he calls them civilians. Yep. I get it. Yeah,
I'm just like whatever, you know, to try and define the difference.
Yeah,
like, but isn't it? It's like,
how much time you got,
and just like the rule set. Yep. And then trying to get into like rule set, and then like what it actually feels like to prepare for it too, because I want at least one more full Muay Thai fight.
Yeah,
because that was the first one. I liked that one. I was, you know, got to throw elbows. I was, you know, exiting the clinch and stuff like that. And then it's just been kickboxing ever since, just because like can't really be too choosy if you want to be active. And then so like it was weird because it's like, you know, the Muay Thai rules, it favors what I'm being told and kind of like, I guess what I'm displaying as more my pace, which is always funny because like everybody in the gym's like, oh, your pace is so fast. I'm like, you know, it's that weird. It's a weird. Where is it? Like, where are your expectations, kind of thing? Yeah, because it's like to some people, I have a kickboxing taste or pace. But I guess to the more seasoned eyes, I want to stand and bang like traditional Muay Thai kind of is. So it's changing a little bit, right? But like you stand up, you're taller.
Yes, you're a little bit more waiting. Yeah, like give me what you got, I'll trade back.
Yeah, just that rhythm of it all, rather than attack them and just beat them down with volume, like what kind of happened to me.
And that's what I was seeing from like the Dutch side of things, is like they're after you, that whole fucking Ramon Dekkers type of shit. And you have a lot of that, and that's what we saw a lot of the success for those couple fights. You had a couple fights in a row that you were dominant, very dominant. And your willingness to push forward and chop the legs and push forward and fire body kicks and things like that. That was a big part of, I think, your success. Now, they also didn't have, like, EJ had that forward pressure. Yeah. They had that sense, like a similar stand and bang. So stylistically, I'd say yes. Or you're having more success in that realm is what I would say.
Yeah.
But like the EJ thing, as your coach, like I feel like you kind of gave him the space that he needed while you're trying to find yours. And I always refer back to that fight, like I was talking about a minute ago, where he kept me at the end of his punches and the end of his kicks. And I would try to get going, and it just wasn't enough. It was a little off.
Yeah.
It's just a little. And again, it's not like you got fucking another go again in an hour where you get to go sit down, reassess. You got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Sit down for a second. 3 minutes. Sit down. 3 minutes. That's it. Done. Good luck.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, adapt really fast.
And it's not like you get to play again next week like in fucking football.
Yeah.
Like that whole any given Sunday shit, you win or you lose. That's why, like, there's a line from the movie Undisputed. Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames, that are locked up in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where he's just like, Wesley Snipes is like talking. He's just like, whoever's better than, he's like, if he's better than me on that day, that's who wins. It's like, that's just the way it goes. It's like, if I'm better that day, then I win.
Yeah.
So, and that's basically how it breaks down to. It's everybody's training hard as fuck. If you're not training hard as fuck in a fight camp, you're taking it too light.
Yeah.
But you busted your ass. And you had other obstacles to overcome. Because last camp, it was like we were dealing with a lot of soreness in the legs and the calves. Mm-hmm. And this time was more the shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was watching back all of the sparring footage that I could right around that last couple weeks of allowed sparring.
Right.
Brian. But it was the week before the last week. So like the last week of March. And on a Tuesday, because it was Mike, mm-hmm. I closed the distance and ran right into a wall of his jab. And I remember that one being like, okay, cool, my neck cracked. Like, kind of one of those things, like where it's just like,
make me want to crack mine right now. Yeah, that stiff crack.
Yeah, just everything shifts back except your body. But like after, like I didn't think of anything of it at the time, and then it was the following week that I felt like that dead arm. So however long it was to like.
Oh, so you're probably like hunching up a little bit into it too. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's where it was. So after seeing my friend down in Lacey Sunday, just getting that quick little assessment, telling him where it is, and like he thought maybe rotator cuff stuff, but like other than just like normal wear and tear from like the repetitive use, mm-hmm. like shoulder's fine.
Okay.
It's just the whatever nerve that's firing off and then just like ending here, which has been like last week I couldn't lay down without it just throbbing. So sleeping was terrible all last week, but this week's just been fine. It's like that average discomfort that we feel.
Yep. Like what's your pain at? Like,
and they're like, you're like normal amount, 4 or 5, and they're like a normal is 0.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Not for a fighter.
No, it's not. A normal is not 0.
I can't remember the last time I was pain-free. Man.
Yeah. It's something. So.
Don't get me started, huh?
Like, so there's that. And then, so the last week of sparring was compromised from that. And then just kind of trying to baby it, trying to make it to the fight because that's the reward.
Yep.
That's the, like.
Rather go light those last couple weeks and save the little bit you can. We're throwing more kicks. We're throwing more jabs. We're doing a lot more defensive work, a lot more footwork, rather than just giving something that's already at the overuse stage or has an issue stage and giving it too much use. So we're actually giving
because there's pushing through it and being like, this isn't actually something that's too bad. And then there's like going a little bit too far, which ended up, I think, just pushing that line was in that fight, which it was, about middle of the second round. Same thing happened. I tried to close distance because I was focused on closing distance. Mm-hmm. After you were like, hey, stop biting on that fake side kick. So I tried to do so. And then he stepped right into a jab and I just felt it shoot down. And I was like, cool. My right arm's super hot right now.
From here all the way to the back side. I hate that. Yep. I feel that when I hit the bag, when I have I feel like I'm getting that whiplash thing from holding pads too much.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about. But even just hitting my big bag right there, it's like, fuck. I feel it in the bag. Yeah. Throw a cross. I'm like, all right, I'll just throw some kicks for a little bit.
Let that be. So Yeah, just kind of knowing that. And then I was like, well, it's not so bad that I'm going to be like, don't let me fight the third round. You know, I was like, I'm not doing that for damn sure. Well, I'm a little too proud and stubborn.
Well, you're also, that stubbornness is what makes people tough.
Yeah.
Like that toughness that you display is because you weren't willing to go out like that.
Yeah.
And you see people really like give up in those stages. Like, oh, it hurts, or I don't like, you're like, I want it back. Give it back.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the smoke because I only got a little bit of time. And that's what you gotta find that. Because you can't teach that shit.
Yep.
Like that's in you or not, the fight or flight. But I'm glad because it seems like especially our up and comers seem to all display that to a degree. Like Jagger, Logan, blah, 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 that Cam kid with the curly hair, bald Cam who wants to come. Like we got a couple of Cams apparently. But you know what I mean? Like we have our hobbyists too, but here's the other side is after your fight, I know that we were talking and it was like, man, you know, like you go through the natural, not only are you a little like down because you lost a fight, you also got hit in the head a bunch of times, which isn't normal.
Yep.
So your serotonin levels are going to be a little bit off, even if you're not fully concussed, you're going to be a little off. So, but I took it a little hard because I knew you were upset and I'm like, there's a saying that's not entirely accurate, but I understand the meaning behind it. It's
the losses are on a coach, wins are on the fighter. That one?
Yes. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, it goes.
I hate that too.
But it's so as you said, like the saying goes, if a fighter wins, it's because he did his job. If a fighter loses, it means I didn't do mine. And it's not entirely accurate. And I was really upset one night because we were doing so well for so long, like no losses for like almost a year and a half. Including like, and then we did a thing at Joey's and like we had a good, I can't remember who it was, but like somebody didn't perform super well because we've had enough down at Joey's at Hammerhead MMA.
Yeah.
And I was a little hard on myself and I'm like, what do I gotta do? I'm like, because I face adversity and I'm like, I'm fucking all in. Like we're climbing Mount Rainier naked, like whatever the fuck it takes. So, and I was kind of doing that a little bit with your fight and Crew Jones when we were talking about the last one is like, that's not entirely accurate. You could tell like Johnny V to keep his hands up. Doesn't mean that you didn't train him enough to keep his hands up. He just didn't do it. And so it's not an exact science, but that as a coach displays the feeling behind it. It's like, what do I need to do better? And that's, we're going hard on the grindstone right now. And it seems like the team's like, you see Jagger, like he's locked in the whole time. He's not joking around, nothing. I was a little hard on Logan. Logan, if you see this, he was playing around with the kids a little bit and just having a good time. And Ash calls them all into the ring to finish class. It's like 6:01. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, straightened up and it did exactly the way you did when I yelled at you in class. And he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, kids, go ahead. And, you know, they wouldn't join class, whatever. I was like, I'm not mad at you, but he took it pretty rough. And I was like, look, man, relax. It's like, but understand that we're here to operate. Just like I'm not going to let the kids mess around on the mat while we're out here. Not going to let us do the same while it's their turn.
Yeah.
And, but no, you could tell he was like, I'm sorry.
You go, shit.
Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like he was sorry about it. Not just like, oh, I fucked up. What's going to happen now?
Yeah.
But he's like remorseful. So that gives me a little bit more of a lenience toward him. A touch. Damn, I hate him sitting with this back pad because the last couple episodes I've been sitting like this and it hurts or I'm all hunched over. But
comfy your couches.
Yeah. Well, we'll move. My buddy's like, yo, I got an office space you could do as your studio, but he's like, I might only have it for like 2 months, or it'll only be able to allow you to go for it for like 2 months, and then you have to pay. I'm like, 2 months? Yeah. I do this shit for free right here.
Yep.
So, but no, when it comes to your fight though, like it was really good, but we need to be able to make adjustments, and I'd say we're not doing that well enough. not that we're not making adjustments well enough. It's that we need to focus more on that specifically because we have all the other things like when you do the pad work, pop, pop, pop. But that's where I want the footwork and stuff like that to kind of come more into play, like that give and take a little bit, like knowing your range at like a millimeter, not by the inches, you know what I mean? And having that discipline to display it from the start of the fight to the end of the fight, from the start of class to the end of class, from the start of sparring to the end of sparring. And trying to get things back to the old school, to where we like have some morning sessions and things like that. Problem is, I'm not young like I was. So I'm like running like 6 a.m. run fucking Washington High School right up the road.
How were you feeling by 11 o'clock that morning?
Aside from when I pulled my calf, I'm usually fine. So I was trying to keep up with the fucking 25-year-olds and 19 to 25. And I'm like, all right, 400-meter sprints after we just jog a mile as like a warm-up. And everybody's fine. Like, well, they're, you know, first time running. I don't know if they're running their sprints or not. But
you shouldn't be fine after sprinting for 100 meters.
No, but the last one, I'm like maybe 8 or 10 steps in. I'm trying to keep up the new kid, Daniel. And I felt my calf just going. I'm like, all right, a couple more steps. And I'm like, nope. Fucking walk over to the fence. I'm like, oh, shit. And they're all standing over by where we walk in at the fence, waiting for my ass to fucking limp over there. So I haven't been able to go running since. Didn't spar last night because of it.
Yep.
So, well, I had some other stuff I had to get done, but it just sucks getting old, man. Always hurting something. And then, you're just not the same. And now I'm teaching you guys how to be good. And then I'm sitting there getting beat up by all you fuckers. Especially Jagger's getting fast. Yeah. Jagger's really fast and long. He's getting good at throwing long.
There's a lot of stuff that he has that he can take advantage of, I think, in his toolbox.
Potential.
Like, there's so much there that, like, it's just going to, I think the trick is going to be getting just, and he's been, to his credit, really good about things recently and stuff, but like, just drilling the fundamentals.
For sure. For the discipline.
Yeah. Just like the discipline of it and just like just having that standard foundation, because then you confuse the shit out of your opponents with all that other creative stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
It's like
he's naturally athletic.
He's a smaller, less polished version of what kind of Mike presents to us.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Because like he's, Mike's been doing this forever. He's got a lot of stuff in his toolbox, and like you hear him talk about, I'll come out round one, fight this style of fight, go out round two, fight a totally separate striking style, and confuse the crap out of somebody by round 3.
Yep.
And it's like, that is pretty fucking cool to be able to do. And like, that's like,
that takes a lot of experience too.
So, but yeah, because then you think about it, like you're drilling the foundation for one style, and then you're like, cool, I've got a little bit of an ego in that. I know I'm good at this, and then you have to make yourself mentally reset to be, I'm a beginner at this again.
Yep.
So it's like,
that's really hard to do for people.
Yes,
especially in combat sports.
Well, where your ego kind of rules a lot of things.
Well, there's that. Like, you got to have a little bit of an ego.
I think, it's not even a little bit. I think you have to have a lot of it. You just have to know how to keep it in check.
That's a good point. That's a good way to say it.
A lot of it. You got to be like, because if it's not ego, then it's just me being stupid.
Yeah.
If it's not ego, then I'm being stupid by being like, yeah, guys in my office, I'm going to go fight this Saturday.
That's a great point.
Want to see these bruises?
Yeah. It's like that ego that's in check. That's a great point.
Yeah. It's just controlled. And,
it's that dangerous person that has it under control.
Yep. I know I have a tendency to let that override with fights. It didn't come out in the last one or the previous, which is kind of annoying.
Exactly.
Well, just I think what you would consider that drive to push forward and like kind of control the pace and set that for me, when I look back at those two fights, is 100% my ego's in the driver's seat. I'm in this cage. How dare you? you know, that kind of shit. I'm going to and it's like, again, totally, those guys are totally fine. I like Armando, from Chai Sai. That fight, so much fun. But I was like, nope.
You were locked in for that fight. Like, you had a different look in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like yes, I'm going to dominate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was I understand what is going on in the two corners. I understand that it's probably a same style fight and whatever, and whose Pokemon is better that night. And I was like, I'm not fucking losing this one.
Okay. So that's a really great comparison, because if you think about matching stylistically, because you had, I can't remember the guy's name from Wave, but that was like a very odd mismatch stylistically, to where he was like ta-ta and really long and gone and run away, and super good at using his length, and did and to his advantage, he used it well, and the movement behind it, to where you were like, what the fuck, let's fight. And that's our style. There's not a whole lot of running away at our gym. No. And if you do it, you're getting fucked up. Yeah, if you do it, we'll make you pay. Yeah, we're gonna corner you. We're gonna lock you down. And see, that's why, like, this time, especially like we talked about it with Jagger's last smoker, but how to cut the ring off, cutting certain angles, especially as you corral people, and how to plan to not get yourself into the ring. You know what I mean? The other side of it. So like, if you find yourself backing up for any reason. But when it kind of comes down to all this most recent fight, it didn't seem like you didn't have that drive. It seemed like you were pissed off because that drive wasn't going your way. Yeah. It's not like it wasn't there. It's that you have it and it still wasn't working. Because like nothing, because I when I was watching it back and like even just thinking about it on the drive home, I was talking to Alex and I was just like, it seemed like every time I was like about to take that second step to close the distance and get within the punching range that I like, there was either a side kick or a front kick, or just there was something straight up the middle just to disrupt it. And I was like, damn it, I thought we worked on some of these entries. And then we did. It just was red every time. And it's like, I don't know where else to go here. I want that slick ass fake 9 sidestep that Roger teaches EJ and Uriah. But that's a slower pace. And he wasn't giving you time. So there is no actually, like, the pace is so fast that there's no time to sit there and time something out. And he was keeping you straightforward. That's where counters are from straightforward. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to, for the most part, bang away hook style on somebody that's really good at long front kicks. I think I threw one hook that whole fight. Right, because you don't have any range. And there was, when we were in the corner, Crew Jones, I didn't really say he would give me a hard time about this, but he's like, don't say that, or like, you don't want that to get in his head. But I told you, I was like, you're down 2 rounds. You need to go win this. Going into the third round, and I knew that. I was going to say, and he was like, don't say that. I'm like, exactly. And I was like, he knows that. There's no way. And that's why, like, he used to tell me when I wasn't, like, if I was losing a round, he's like, give me your best 2 minutes right now. Let's get that back. So, or like 3 minutes, whatever it was. And that's exactly how you came out in the third. It's like, I don't give a fuck. And a lot of times, like, you were just kind of like backing up. You'd give that little small jockey for position, and then he would just come straight down the pipe and still connect. And he would have those little hops to get the advantage of that space. And we just work on standing the ground a little better, and a few counters, like that little hippity hop, you parry one of those and chop away. You got some advantage. Like, it's there. And like, that's the thing too, is like, watching it back, there wasn't anything brand new. Right. It's just, they were very good. And very efficient. Extremely efficient. And I know that's kind of how they drill
down at Brian's and stuff, and like they just try to capitalize on everything and then kind of drown you in volume. And I know like that's like on my best days, that's what I do too. So like I think that too is like, I think I let the matchup get to my head a little bit. Not to try and make excuses, but like just knowing like, okay, this is where he fights out of. This is where also he has a lineage.
Oh, it's just fighter analytics.
Yeah, just all of this stuff. And it's just like, and then watching his most recent fight prior to this one too. You watch it and you're like, oh, cool, active. So we're just going to meet in the middle and go. And that's exciting. That's my sort of fight, regardless if it's wise to do so. Like, it's still fun to just stand and bang.
Yeah.
And just be like, sweet, this would be a fun fight regardless of whatever. And if I lose because of something happening, but I was in there swinging away too, then what am I going to be mad at?
Exactly.
It's just that, like, to me, it doesn't feel like I actually swung away for whatever reason. And, whether it be like he was just really good with capitalizing on the distance and the range, or my arm, or whatever stupid mental thing that I didn't get over during the day didn't happen, which just sucks, because it's like, that was the style of fight I wanted to have and what I was looking forward to.
Seemed like you just didn't have a chance to really get going. Not that you weren't, not that swing away wasn't there, because it's there. I know it is. You'll swing away on me, and I'm fucking 210 right now.
You'll forget that you're a coach now, and then you'll still throw something hella hard, and it'll be like, okay.
I haven't thrown a punch more than like 50-60% since in years. So I'm still capping it at that 60%. So if it's that hard, I'm sorry, but that's still like not that hard in my book. That's like the Crew Jones where he's like, no, that shit's hard. I threw a birthday kick on somebody a little hard the other day, but it was it was like 40-50%. But again, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
as a coach, I've been sparring XJ, and like the ropes were really loose because I fucking pitched him over it, fucking pushed his head back and started going with the elbows, because we've been going hard the last couple of rounds. And I was a little bit fiery this last Saturday. And so I do it again to him in the other corner, the one closest to the desk, and just push his head back like that and start going hard. But again, he's like, you have this look in your eyes that I've never really seen. I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
my bad.
Yeah. That's the I'm the fighter again.
Yeah.
Like, this is my mission. And yeah, I don't know how, I wasn't going that hard, but I was really dominating the position, especially like I had him like this on back over the ropes. So, that's never a good thing. No, shout out to XJ. There's like nothing like wrong with that, but we were going, and I like to push the head back on the ropes.
And you're like, here's how you position.
I like to push the head back
but,
on the ropes.
That's the thing too. It's like, with the right mentality of the person on the other side getting, in sparring, if you're getting used like that, then it's like, sweet, tell me about that.
Right.
Because that's the stuff
Growth opportunity.
you don't have the chance to drill that kind of scenario in a fundamentals class or pad work in conditioning and stuff like that, because it's like, we're trying to focus on, here is your base foundation. If you can't walk, you can't fight. If you can't, that kind of stuff. And then that's why like the clinch classes are always so like difficult, and like we could spend 4 days a week for a whole month on just clinch, because it's so different. It's a feel thing.
Yep.
And before you can even get the feel thing, you got to be like, get close.
Yeah. And you got to get comfortable getting close. You know how many people are like, clinch, I'm clinching, or they do the slap hands trying to get away.
Yeah. So it's like no clinch. It's like, cause
we'll do like
the pummeling and everything to get into, to lock into 50-50 first. But it's just like, skip the pummeling, get up there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's like, everybody just go do jits for 3 days.
But also get it, like when we have women in there and they're like a little bit off put by like getting that close.
Yeah.
Or like even, I don't really remember when I first started how I felt about it, but I'm sure I felt some kind of way. I'm like, oh, I got to get this close, but you get over it. Because what happens, you're like, oh, weird, I'm in this close, and oh, weird, that hurt really bad. You better not even think about I'm picking myself up off the ground.
Yeah, here's one double right there. Like,
and so you're like, the urgency of getting better, or knowing your position, you're not going to have time to feel comfortable. The only people that have time are the people that are giving them time.
Yeah, and so like it's like with those ones, like my rounds with you, my rounds with Juan, trying to just like again solve the distance problem with him. Mm-hmm. It's with him, and it's because you're not that much smaller than him, but like
me,
yeah, like lengthwise,
Mm-hmm.
but like ours are mid to we're always mid to short range.
I like to bang too. Yeah. Well, it's also because I push forward, and Juan won't let you get in there forward. And I've kind of got to the point where I'm like, I'm going to let you get in there. And I like to play the give and take a little bit too. So I can counter, get in the clinch, knee, sweep. But then you have to let people get in a little, like bait them in a little bit to get those. Yeah. And I do miss being my major kicks.
But do you ever think about like, so I assume the teaching mindset never goes away for you too. And cause like it kind of creeps into me, and I try to just like I try to keep my mouth shut as much as I can, unless somebody's like, oh, give me, what do you do on this? Whatever. Mm-hmm. Here's how I do it, but double check with everything. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it. But like your harder rounds with anybody in the gym. And then like, do you ever switch to go, all right, I'm just going to play defense to give them the feeling of here's your opening, take advantage?
Are you talking about higher level to lower level?
Yeah, or like just anything. Because like, I mean,
I do exactly that.
And I think like the dummy pad round that I didn't understand was happening with Crew Jones. When he's just like, just go. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about me. Just go. Treat it as if you are about to finish the fight, kind of thing.
Yes. So to kind of paraphrase, so you're asking if I basically adjust my approach to different levels, and I would say yes. So the first person that comes to mind that I do that with specifically is Carlos. He's got a really good leg kick, and he's developed that, but he telegraphs it, and he also looks down. So I check and give him the 3-2 every time, but he blocks it. He blocks the 3-2. So I'm not giving it so hard, but I'm giving it realistic. I'm like, check, ba-ba, check, ba-ba. Like that fast snap. Yeah. And he's doing good at recognizing he ate it, but he would throw leg kick, and I tap. Leg kick again, little brief pause. I'm like, tap. So I let him kind of get his shots off and show that I'm like, all right, this is what I'm seeing. This is what's working. And then, I mean, if you give Carlos a few times, he hits hard.
Yep.
Hits like a grown man.
He does.
He does. Got some grown
I always
man
forget
hands.
that. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah. For 17? Yeah. So he's somebody I would like to see the discipline go way up on.
Which, I mean, I think it would be. It's just
he's
the
kid.
time. Yeah, he's golfing. He's, they're...
It's hard to squeeze it all in.
Yeah.
And as a coach, that's my priority, not everybody else's.
Yeah.
And that's, again, so to scale it up to the harder rounds, I don't like to refer to Juan as much because he won't let me get in. He won't let me have a hard round that's not like, yo, I'm not going to go home without a headache today.
Yeah.
And I can have that round and get my play rounds with Crew Jones. You've seen me spar. Like, we go hard, but we'll trade. Right. And like, he'll not let me get in the clinch, but you'll see where I start giving the frame, and he's like, he hates that. He was like, what the, it's like, stop, why are you hitting me in the boob? I'm like, cause you have your hands down, and I know you're fine with eating punches, but I'm not fine with giving you extra brain damage, which I know will happen. And remember, he's like 48, 49 now, and he still tanks forward, still beats the fuck out of people. So I also know if I give him too many opportunities, it's like the Mike thing. You get too many opportunities in one look, he's going to get
he's going to blow you up.
And the elbows thing is the shark eyes that XJ says he sees. on me. So he's like, once I see those elbows start coming and repeated, I'm like, oh no, bro. Like I'm not Zach anymore. We're not having a good round. It's I got him and you're the opponent that he has to go through now. 30x plus whatever, you're a gray person and now, you're a silhouette. You're going down. And I have multiple times. Like that's something I never really went down much in the earlier days. Now when I'm getting a little older, those little uppercuts and stuff, you see me like, I'm like, why are my arms through the ropes right now? I'm like, oh shit, he got me. But those flash ones where I'm like, I'm fine. It's not like I forgot, but like he fades out. And what was the other one? He got me. Oh, the double elbow right before your fight a couple times.
Yeah,
you go,
when you're
and then the big shiner. And that was one of those where like you could see him just kind of tone off, and he got Mejia, same thing a couple weeks before. So I'm like, all right, and then he calls me and apologizes about doing this to other people. I'm like, it's fine. Like we go way back. I don't know. He probably said it. He probably said it to me too. But when it goes to our rounds, I know I can hit him hard and like actually like turn it up a little bit, but I need to be kind of ready for
the response.
And that's where like my defense has to always also be up. So it's hard and fast volume with power defense. So like Dutch style, he's very Dutch style, even though he's a Muay Thai guy. And then I go into the clinch and I have a couple things, and then I try to move again and I try to reset and frame back out. So I'm constantly looking to adapt. What was the third part of your question? Do you remember?
Well, just like, because like it's hard to, with pads and stuff, and like no matter what, you can't really train that killer instinct that we were kind of talking about, or that want to just move forward and drive right through whomever it is. So like I've noticed with like kind of our mid-fight camp rounds and stuff like that with you, or like even if it's not rounds with you and it's just somebody else that you're just like walk through them. It doesn't matter. Like if you see an opening, take it kind of stuff. Do you find ways to try and like encourage people to do that without even like maybe like subtly doing it, to be like, do it?
Like to hit me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I will. I won't do the Crew Jones where I'll leave my hands down, but I'll get more of like a boxer stance and have the hands pinned to the head a little bit more, and like kind of put the helmet on, and it kind of invites them to be like, "Yo, I'm in a stance like where you can kind of tag me," and I don't know why, but it kind of gives that silent permission, and I'll start throwing like that towards the head, and I'm like, if I have that helmet on and stuff, I'm like, yeah, go for it. But I'm still looking to show. I also like to kind of give, it's not a good habit on mine, but to kind of give like I'm going to throw a jab, like my hands down though, like a feint jab, feint, and like setting it up, especially like for the newer guys. But the problem is when I do that, you just eat too many headshots. So it's trying to find that fine line. The ones that I do like are the old body pad rounds with a really big body pad, things like that. But to say that you can't really train that is where I refer back to the old school, like Crew Jones, your dad, Taki, because it wasn't that you couldn't train that. That's the way you had to be or you weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say we got away from that, because it's smart to get away from that, or fucking brain damage on brain damage doing that shit. And we can develop smarter fighters that way. Maybe people that make it past that threshold of getting your brains beat in, stay in long enough to get decent to where you're not getting hit as much. And now you can actually learn and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Versus just, I'm going to spar fucking second week in, and then one of our gym bullies or enforcers or whatever you want to call it, like, oh, you hit me hard because you don't know any better, and now we're gonna fucking drop you.
Yeah.
And I say we loosely because I'm not trying to do that to the beginning. But unless they have that
unless
ego.
it's that, yeah.
If you come in like trying to gym storm, it's not gonna go well.
No.
You gotta be like high level from another gym, like undercover. Like, yeah, I'm fucking, I don't know. Mighty Mouse showed up. but in whiteface. I don't know. like, bro, we know better. You live around here.
Hey, I work with your neighbor.
Yeah. Shout out to Scott.
Scott?
Scott from fucking Spanaway Lake. But
it's so fucking funny to have both of you in some sort of like coach, mentor, kind of like peer.
We all came from Spanaway. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but like it was a big stigma. It was like, oh, that's not where you want to be from for a long time. But a lot of people say that the whole area.
The whole area.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? It's like, come on, there's pockets. Don't
go anywhere. I don't give a fuck where you're from.
Quit it.
You see dirtbags from Beverly Hills all day. That's where I need to go open a gym. Beverly fucking Hills.
Get your
We're
cardio.
rich.
Yep.
Come get your cardio Muay Thai. Yep. Not kickboxing.
You're doing great, Becky.
Doing great. And then what we do is I fucking stack my chips for a while and come back up here and open like a fucking legit CSA style gym. God. Make the money off the CrossFitters that don't know how to not hurt themselves. So they have to still pay their memberships while they're hurt. I hate CrossFit.
Well,
I don't hate it, but like the concept of like
really good at working out.
Well, I don't like the concept of the Olympic lifts, which are supposed to do very specific and and like getting away from that and just bang out as many as you can. And then, I have back problems and all this stuff. Like a lot of those motions are not, you're not
supposed to do it at that velocity.
No. And then, there's too much and exhausted. Pushed to the point of exhaustion. See Olympic lifts like deadlifts or power cleans and stuff like that. They're videotaping to make sure everything's perfect, everything's in line. They're doing like 3 reps. You're going to do 60 and pull-ups and jump rope and all this stuff to the exhaustion. I'm like, oh no, bro, this is the way to do it. But then you see like the CSA or the Reebok CrossFit games and the women are like women Spartans. Like, Jesus. I wish I was ripped like that.
That's the thing too, but like I mean that's also like like probably why I gravitated more towards combat sports and stuff too, because it's like for a while, like in college is when I started lifting and then kind of like actually caring like about that kind of like ego shit. But like because I was always a small kid, I didn't play football because I was too small. Like, I think I was like 130 pounds soaking wet up until I was like 19 or 20.
Well, I mean, you only fight 5 pounds heavier. So
well, yeah, but like, Yeah.
Well, I mean, you get the grown man muscle that comes in and all that. Yeah, I
kind of do that. And like, so like, it was like track and field, a little bit of soccer, but like I had bad knees.
So you're playing to your strengths a little bit more than like trying to go be the little guy in the big field kind of thing. Yeah.
And then, you get out of high school and then all of a sudden it's impossible to find team sports unless you're going to run those intramurals and stuff like that. Just like the beer league softball kind of stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? No, I mean,
but if you want to compete, if you want to be competitive,
compete or like just like stay in better shape and like do something cool. Because let's be real, any kid growing up wanted to learn martial arts because they watched something fucking cool.
Guilty.
And we're like, I want to be that guy.
Guilty as fuck. Like, that's me in a nutshell.
I have so many. My brother and I still know the whole choreography of Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul because we were like, let's learn something fucking cool.
That's funny. I'm Karate Kid. I'm like, man, fucking like 15 years later.
Yep.
But that's all right. No, I mean, I agree entirely because I always watched the Karate Kid, watching Ninja Turtles, but you see like the competitives of Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris,
fucking grew up with Power Rangers,
yeah, all that shit, and then that whole generation of because the people that are watching Bruce Lee that are like teenagers, they grow up and then like the producers on Power Rangers or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Not as a rule, but you find yourself in that niche later if you're really passionate about it. And like growing up watching the Rocky movies every chance I could, So I always make that reference because the hair like Rocky and Rambo had a fucking baby.
Yep.
Yeah, like
you're dumb. But like I don't know.
So when it came to this whole fight camp, you did better than you have before. Better than I've seen. You're able to push harder, push longer. You're lighter and faster on your feet. You didn't cramp up. What do you think was the big improvement this time?
I think just so I wanted to get that loss back.
I like that. The motivation.
There's for sure that. And then knowing that it was like, cool, this is a chance to, even if it isn't, then it's going to be more of a fight that I like. Mm-hmm. So I want to be prepared for that. So it was outside of the gym, just pushing cardio a little bit more instead of being on the bike. It was running a couple miles on Saturdays and Sundays. Mm-hmm. And just that kind of like that repetitive stuff. Because like once like, you forget, all of this stuff, but like you forget. And then once you were like, oh no, like running's better because of that constant impact. It's going to help with the cramping and stuff. And then just like, it's going to help strengthen your legs and shins and stuff, shins
constantly
and ankles.
That developing the kinetic energy, pushing, all that. Yeah.
Because knees and ankles have always been my problem. Mm-hmm. And apart from one freak night, like early on, like a couple years in, I haven't had any issues with my knees and ankles, other than when Brian swept me in Spike Camp and rolled my ankle.
You broke his nose.
Yep. Payback. And then he got me yelled at.
Yeah, just let it go.
No, dude.
Everybody gets yelled at.
Nope.
No.
We weren't even doing anything.
You're talking, and I fucking... That's where like my dad came out.
That one was so funny because Leia, you're both of our faces were just immediately straight, and then we see you go, shit.
Because I like clicked out of it. Yeah. Well, because I'm like looking this way, and Juan's talking, and then I hear like some ribble rabble over here, and I'm like, who the fuck is talking? And I was like, oh shit. Went off. It's like, you don't talk.
Well, why are you talking?
Yeah,
I was like, oh god.
It was just like, bleh. Like I could have barfed it out. Yeah. But that's my dad, dude. That's my fucking all of a sudden, like, oops, turn back down. Damn it. Like he's 8 years old. Relax. I did that to a lesser degree recently. I was thinking about it too, and I was just like, oh, it got me again. Fucking popped out again. But I just had a little moment. But when you broke Brian's face, Brian said he was like rolling around in pain. And then I was like, this is why we don't fucking spar 2 weeks out from a fight. And he was like, oh, that's where it came from. Like, you could hear that after your nose was fucked up. I was like, that must have been significant. And like T-Town MMA was in the house. Cross sparring. And Juan's like, shh, calm down. I wanted to be like, it's your fucking fault they were sparring. You said it was okay. I said no. But I'm like, no, he's right. Like, have that conversation later. Don't blow up. But yeah, I'm passionate. But it's what Crew Jones always says. Anytime somebody says like, that's passionate, you're not gonna get to that level or like do what you guys do without passion. So I'm like, I like that he kind of just like, it's like, no, he's good. He'll be all right.
Give him 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he'll be fine.
Shit.
He'll remember who he is real quick. But. No, so yeah, this fight camp, it was just kind of the mentality of wanting to just get one back. Felt better kind of going into fight camp too, like, because it's not like there wasn't much time between like the last fight and then returning to the gym. There wasn't as many bumps and bruises or anything like that. So it was just like just maintain a steady schedule all the way up until we were like, all right, let's lock in.
Yeah.
And do it all. So, just pushing the cardio and wanting to really, again, ego talking here, show out. Like, yeah, I wanted to, it's funny because like,
you have to have part of that. Otherwise you're not going to want to beat somebody.
Yeah.
You're like, fighting somebody.
Yeah. There's performance.
That's why I say like, not a lot of women have that and they fight harder. So if you know what I'm talking about, you're like, oh shit. So he's just mad. No ego, just mad.
Just mad.
Like, oh, fuck. Like, Bullet Shevchenko is like my example. Like, holy shit. Like, no. All right, here's a little backstory. My first day at class. Crew Jones has me there. He's running class. Master Silent. No, Master Silent, I don't believe, is present there yet. And I get paired off with the girl. First day of class. Right? And her name's Bryn, and she's got gloves on. Like, I don't know shit about this. And she's a blonde lady, a little short, I don't know, probably 30s or something. And I'm holding gloves like Dutch drill. She's like, in my face. I'm like, what the fuck do I do here, dude? I'm like, this woman can kick my fucking ass. And I'm in shape. And I'm like learning from Crew Jones. And no, dude, like walking into that next fucking element, women, when they have that drive, man, they're scary.
Yep.
Johanna and J-Check, especially those Eastern Bloc ones, that's just scary in itself because they don't have time for nonsense.
Yep.
You got a lot of time for bullshit in America. Order Frappuccino, bro. Where's my fucking Frappuccino? I was listening to that earlier, like right before you got here. But you know what I mean? Like they get that shit out.
Yep.
Call the manager, and then they're going to come to class, and I'm going to kick my ass. Like, not anymore, but, that was, women don't play. Say it again.
Well, it's just funny also to, like to that, people being like, oh, what's going on? It's like, you don't train. Shut up. You don't train.
I was talking
Please stop. I will not. I'm just going to, this is when I go, all right, I'm not part of this conversation.
It's something you don't have perspective on.
Yeah, I'm just not part of the conversation anymore.
I say that about my back pain. You know how many times I've hurt my lower back? I was one of the, shout out again to the Zips girls, but there's one girl one of the main ones that I go to, she hurt her back. And I'm like, I know exactly what you're fucking going through. And I always say that if you have lower back pain, do not take advice from somebody who doesn't have lower back pain. If you've never thrown out your lower back, don't talk about it. Yep. Don't act like you know what the fuck you're talking about. That's your whole body stiff, not being able to move. Fucking done it how many times? Like a dozen times over the last 3 years. 10 times minimum.
Yep. So then you're like, oh, no, it's throwing kicks. It's like, whenever you do it, I'm like, I get it, but also don't. Hey, rest.
Yeah. I think I found the formula is, so I'm like narcotic free. Like I smoke weed. But I don't even drink really unless we're all out of a social event.
Yeah,
like after
social only.
If we're out of fights. I mean, I might have like a beer on like a Sunday afternoon or something, but that's about as far as I go. But I'll take, if it's like really bad and I know I fucked my back up. I'm like, all right, I did it bad this time. I'll take like a Vicodin for 2 days. One Vicodin, 2 days in a row. And it seems to almost go away. So having done it so many times, that's the one I get. And again, I don't like taking it because I'm like, zzz.
Well, yeah,
but laying down after I take that and getting the sleep.
Down.
Yeah. And Mejia, Brian and Katie, you were like, yeah, it's probably like giving you the proper relief that you need rather than like constantly just being inflamed and everything. So you're probably getting the proper amount of relief, and it's good that I only do it for 2 days because I'm not trying to be a Vicodin dude.
Ooh.
But before we wrap up, I wanted to know, after this fight camp, what's something that you're looking to adjust coming back to the gym? What's something that you're like, when I get back in here, this is something that I want to change?
I want to just flow better and finding out how to. So we talked. And I messaged you what, like, my dad messaged me, like, from what he saw from his eyes and his perspective, and he was like, just more movement. You're falling more into that Muay Thai style that, like, which is understandable because that's what you train, that's what you're around. You're going to take the form of whatever container you're in.
Right.
It makes sense. Mm-hmm. But like, so just more movement, more jabs, which is just always going to be more jabs. And I'm like, shit, that's all I work. But, there's always going to be more jabs. There's always room and there's always time for more jabs. And then just finding the flow, because it's, even if I feel like I'm breathing through whatever, like it's, you're too tense. You're still too kind of like amped up and wanting to hit or whatever it is. Just throw to throw. And I think the last week or so, I've been trying to think about that versus kind of what your advice was just like, well, if it's switching into the mentality of fight mode, then be in fight mode for sparring too. kind of, paraphrasing.
For sure.
And like,
no, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool. Cause then it's just like, yeah, because then if that's all you do, then all of a sudden your normal is somebody's 9.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Your baseline is somebody's like red line, whatever it is. And like I talk about that stuff at work too. It's like get so good at what you do that your bad days are somebody else's best days.
Yes.
Right?
I do have something I want to say, like, on what I kind of mean to refine that a little bit is I refer to that, the video that Master Simon did of me and Logan. I'm not hitting him hard. You see, but I'm flowing. I wasn't telling myself to throw whatever that fucking combo was. It was just my approach. Just da. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's more what I mean, is that you don't have to hit them at a 9, or you know what I mean? You don't have to take it to that level, but you need to train at that, and you'll find it clicking in. Yeah. And we'll go deeper on that. But that's all I want to say. Go back to your saying.
No, and so like there's that part. So marrying that, because to me it's like, okay, switch on, be the bully in sparring, right? I can't, to me right now still, I'm still at that point where I'm trying to figure out how I can be the bully without just tanking everything and then throwing whatever in return, kind of like without worrying about it. Because again, it's like there is a difference in like sparring is, you call it play fighting and stuff, or it's like it's the practice, it's our version of live practice,
mock fighting,
right? Yeah. But there's also something to be said about like these are your teammates. We're not trying to send anybody, like these people got to go to work tomorrow and function, and then like
just there's that happy medium.
Yeah. So being able to shut that off a little bit, or just be like, cool, I'm beginning to believe, and like seeing through the matrix, and then like having those like flashes of there's the opening, go, but have the wherewithal to pull or whatever it is, and because like that's when I have, those are my favorite nights of sparring too, where it's just like people are like, he's playing like slowly, he's flowing, he's jumping up and down, we know we're kind of fucked, like Johnny's like, and like Johnny will be like, yeah, no, I know something's coming when you start getting super light on your feet, and like this is how I know you're feeling, like I'm feeling good. Is when I start like bouncing around and kind of like attacking different angles that wouldn't just be straightforward, or cutting off whatever, and just like playing with that, when it's just like you feel that
feels
kind of like
the things that you needed to get out of the way mentally are out of the way at that point, and now you're able to find that freedom.
Yep. And you can just play.
I like that. Now, a big part of what I was kind of saying is I should fall in line with that is learn to just touch a little bit. You can just touch, wait for that opening. Like I saw a clip of it like today or yesterday. It's like the greatest combo in UFC history. It's Cerrone when he's like, touch, and then bam, and he lands the kick. But it's like, without just like those couple little touches, imagine if you would have went all out on one of those.
Yeah, on that free.
Yeah, or even the body shot. It would have, but those second and third shots wouldn't have been there because his body would have been too invested.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I think where that comes from too is like being able to just like flow a little bit more, is also to like not anticipate the panic counters too. And I think that's going to level out as more people get more comfortable too, because I think it's like, not to like shit on anybody, but like it's a beginner's reaction to
panic.
Every touch, go
spaz,
like, oh, go and it's like, you're gonna like spaz out a bit, rather than just being like, I know these are setup shots, so like playing with you and being able to kind of like have that rhythm and that back and forth, or like trying to like, again, going back to like in like sparring with Juan, and it's like I feel like I can like find it a bit with him, but it's just harder because I got so much further, because he's like, you're not coming in.
Well, and he fights his fight.
Yeah.
And he's still like I said, he's an active fighter still. So he's doing his job.
Yeah.
And not that it's just not a 100% good comparison, but it is something that you need to find your way through.
Yeah.
Because like you're never gonna fight somebody that, well, you might find somebody that tall, but not at that weight.
That guy was like
Like not somebody that's 178.
Yeah.
You know, or what? I think he's got to be fighting right around there. I think still. And goddamn it, there's the thing about a garage is the damn fly came in when the doors are open. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. But again, coming back from that fight, even though it was a loss, like I said to G, the people that were there in the beginning to walk you out are right back there, win, lose, or draw. The fight team is going to be there and still hold you up at win, lose, or draw. You know what I mean? And when it comes to those teammates that you're not comfortable with beating up or like being the bully on, and understanding that you have to kind of do that, like, well, you're all putting yourself in this realm. You're all putting yourself in this risk. You know what I mean? And when you're like, hey man, I'm in fight camp. So, and I'm going hard tonight. You know, like I like that at the beginning of a round with somebody. You're like, yo man, if you need me to go light or go lighter, tell me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go at my fight. And that's something I would like not only you to do. And again, not everything is 100% power. So if it's not like, oh, this is my fight, which means I'm trying to drop you. This means this is my fight. I'm trying to win this, not even win this round, but I'm trying to work what I need to work. Because I hate that win the fucking sparring round shit. Because we're all going to body each other.
Yeah, why are we going to do that?
Like, we're going to give each other that permission. Even this last Saturday, I was sparring Travis, Shorter Travis, and we were going hard. You know, Travis is down.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna...
I caught him with a fucking overhand. Like, I felt the knuckles pierce through, and we were about to really start going. I was like, hey, man, we need to tone it back down. Because me and him were about to go sky high. And that's where, like, one of us is going to get hurt, if not both of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Johnny D was doing the same thing. He fucking walked into one of my elbows, like, dong. He's like, oh. And he goes over to XJ, and XJ's like, you all right? You're bleeding. He's like, oh, fuck. I just kind of look over like, I'm sorry, bro. But, no, man, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on. Today is Wednesday, so this will drop Friday, noon or 1, right in that realm. So hopefully everybody watching can check it out. So anything you want to finish up with?
Nope. I'm just...
Shout out to your pops.
Yeah. Local boy MMA down there, Brian Johnson's. Go down there. If you're in the area, you're not going to get better trainers all around.
I'd have to say the same, even though they've been I don't want to say a rival gym because I got so much love for them. I mean, that thing with Julian, I was like, man, I would love to get him on here, but, or even your dad too. But a bit of a rival gym from back in the day. We used to just fight them a lot.
Yeah.
But man, they're a
good
great
matchups.
gym.
It's a really good gym. Like everybody, like I love going down there to just be like, here's my money, Brian, and then just shoot the shit for a little bit. Yep. And it's like, it's just fun. It's nice because it's a small community. So what's the fucking point if you're not going to share?
Don't be a hater.
Yeah.
So, but and they are constantly producing high level fighters. I've never not seen them have a good fight roster.
Yeah.
So they are a great gym down there. A lot of love. I think got a lot of love for a lot of people. Oh, shout out to All City Fight Night. Went up there this last weekend. It was a great show. Love to start getting our guys on there. Muay Thai and kickboxing.
Is there something this weekend? No.
I don't know about this weekend. Talking about the one at WFC.
Yeah, next weekend, right?
Is Emerald? Yeah, I already got my tickets, so we're gonna all be up there. If you're planning on going to that, I noticed that the sections were selling out already. So get your shit together. And then right after that, you got Koga, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make that one.
Where's that one?
That's like Angel Wins.
Is that the Arlington one?
Like yeah, okay. Arlington. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which that's a fun one because that casino's dope. The whole area is like real nice. You got a lot of shopping.
Fucking track.
I just went up to Everett for it's like an hour and a half drive, but it was a great night. Dudes at Karma were there, so I was just hanging out in the back with them by the bar, getting drunk with G and Alex and all them guys from Synergy and FQ. So anyway, anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, I'm antsy to get back to it. I got to let this shit heal.
Yeah, especially like when you When you want to get one back,
then let's go.
Yep. So, well, got to heal up that shoulder, sir. So that this is where you get to use your mind.
Yeah.
Get to really refine how you want to be. And when you come back, we're gonna make sure them kicks are going much higher. We're working
on it.
We'll get it. No, we'll get it.
Well, that's the nice thing is I've still been able to do lower body stuff. So.
The flow and the kicks, we're gonna get it. So, anyway, thanks. Hey. It was great having you on, sir. My dog Anthony. I'm gonna go shut this shit down. Ooh, we went.